it's already given us a massive endorphin rush.
Bragging rights? No.
Having 1,300 watts of solar, so this is still new to us. We haven't had it on the roof very long. We haven't had a chance to really live with it.
True.
But we already have seen that it's rather remarkable that all day long on a nice day, our batteries stay at 100%, even with our refrigerator running and with our laptops working. And so now
we're probably not average users. We're above average power users when it comes to our power demand. So a 1,300 watt solar system is a pretty significant system for most people. But again, being full-time, being working entrepreneur, we're on the road working all the time. We're using our laptops. We've got batteries charging for our cameras. We've got network equipment going and internet connectivity and our residential refrigerator. We are power hungry RVers. So
to be fair,
that 1,300 watts is giving us the flexibility to maintain that lifestyle, to continue doing all of that without having to be plugged into a shore power cord or run our generator in order to recharge our batteries. And
which
for
we
us,
like to avoid.
Yeah, for us, we like being out in the more remote places, not hooked up, and we also don't like running our generator unnecessarily because we like the peace and quiet.
Now,
so solar is silent.
There's a misconception that large RVs use lots of power, and many people will see our 43-foot RV and hear what John just said about us using a lot of power and say, well, of course you use a lot of power, you've got a giant RV. Well, it's actually not the size of the RV that matters, it's how the power is used. So the ways John just mentioned, running 2 laptop computers that use a lot of power, we do a great deal of video editing, we have storage devices that store that uses a surprising amount of power. And those tech devices are one of our largest power users. The only other large power user that we have is our residential refrigerator. And I would suggest to people who are thinking about weighing the pros and cons of a residential refrigerator versus an RV refrigerator, that is the single biggest factor that makes boondocking more of a challenge. The single biggest factor that required us to have a larger battery bank and a larger solar panel bank was a residential refrigerator. Now, there are lots and lots of benefits to a residential refrigerator, but there are also some downsides. And in this case, the downside is that it does require more power, and it does mean that it's not ideal for boondocking. Well, all the pros of residential refrigerators, the fact that it keeps the ice cream cold, you never have to defrost it, it's larger and has lots of room in it.
Produce lasts longer.
It stays at a consistent temperature. There are many benefits to having a residential refrigerator that we value, and we were willing to make that trade-off and not being optimally set up for boondocking by bringing in more power with a larger battery bank, with our Freedom eGen battery, with 600 amp hours of lithium, and now feeding it with 1,300 watts of flexible and rigid Xantrex solar. So those are decisions each RVer has to make for themselves, but it's not the size of the RV that specifically means you're going to use more power. Someone with a travel trailer with a residential refrigerator and lots of camera and computer gear is going to use pretty much the same amount of power we do.